Welcome back to Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan's most fun local Amanda Positive 9 a.m. show, Friday Junior. Good day.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, how about this?
Yes.
Put yourself in 1916 St. Petersburg, Russia.
It was gorgeous.
A young girl gets a gift of a music box inscribed "Together in Paris." What could it possibly mean?
Romance. Or something else. I don't know. Find out this weekend, actually, so you don't have to guess about it. At the Croswell Opera House in Adrian, Michigan, we have Aubrie Lauren, who is Anya, and Maxwell Lamb, who is Dimitri, in the production of Anastasia, or Anastasia.
You're fancy.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
So you have seen what the
I've seen
Disney did a movie,
yes.
right?
Not
Or,
Disney.
No, it
it's,
wasn't Disney. It was
Fox.
Fox. Oh, okay.
And they did great.
And you loved that.
It's awesome. It is so underrated because she's not a Disney princess. Well, Russian and whatnot. But it's a good story, and the bat is funny, and the whole Russian thing that goes with it. I
Now,
like it.
is the bat in the musical?
No.
That is not the musical.
The musical.
Yeah, let's talk about the stage version
There we go.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
of this. What is it all about?
So it's much more historical based. We are at the twilight of the Russian Empire, so the Bolshevik Revolution has just happened. We are seeing kind of the reckoning of that and how everyone is adjusting and how the world is so different for the people that live there now. And then we go to Paris in 1927, and it's beautiful and it's fun and there's music and yes. And they've obviously taken out Rasputin is no longer in it, but it's still just as beautiful and full of heart.
So, a beautiful story. Tell me a little bit about, we'll start with you, with your characters.
Sure.
Who you play, Dmitry. Tell me all about him.
I play Dimitri. He's sort of a roguish con man that's had a life of hard knocks. So he's a sort of impoverished young man living in the middle of St. Petersburg during this revolution. And he seems pretty disillusioned with the whole cause, because whether it was royalty or the Bolsheviks, people are still struggling. People are still suffering, and he gets right to it at the very top of the show. I sort of illustrate that with the people in St. Petersburg, and they're all sort of murmuring and gossiping about the possibility that one of the children of the Romanov Empire is still alive, and that is Anastasia. And so I hatch a plan to sort of get myself out of Dodge and make a life for myself, because the Dowager Empress, Anastasia's grandmother, is looking for her lost granddaughter and has a reward placed. And I'm thinking, that's going to get me out of here. So I'm going to find my Anastasia, and I'm going to present her to the Dowager Empress as the real Anastasia and collect the reward and go on with my life. And he discovers a lot more than he bargained for.
I was going to say that. I was like, something tells me it's not going to just be about the money here at the end.
No, it is not, no.
Beautiful. And we're looking at some of the video here. It looks like there's some dancing and some singing.
Yes.
Yeah, and who do you play?
I play Anya. She is a young woman who has been orphaned, and she has amnesia. She doesn't remember anything before waking up on the other side of Russia from St. Petersburg. So like Dmitry, she's had a really hard life. She's had to fend for herself and, you know, learn some really tough lessons, but she's still incredibly vulnerable and open and kind and compassionate. And it's just such a joy to get to play a character that is both tough and soft. And she's also wondering who she is. And as we start to explore who Anastasia is, things start to come back to her.
Oh.
And she could possibly be a princess.
Knew the whole.
I see.
Knew the whole.
Knew the whole
Called
time. A beautiful story, though, and it looks like it's a beautiful on stage as well. So this is, you guys are opening tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Very exciting. What do you want people to gain from their experience of coming to see the show?
Oh, gosh.
Pick just one now.
Right. I think learning that lesson of staying vulnerable and being kind and compassionate no matter what life has dealt you, and also just to have a good time and enjoy the beautiful music and the beautiful dancing and the beautiful costumes.
Yeah.
This is musical theater to a T. This is what musical theater is in its purest and truest form. So I just want people to come and really enjoy the art form.
Just enjoy
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think all of the principal characters in this production are so persevering in times of strife and struggle, not just external struggles like the revolution and political unrest, but also with sense of identity and like where they're from, which is why I think Anya and Dmitry contrast very well, as Dimitri's sort of always known who he is or what he's about, and Anya does not, through no fault of her own. And but Dmitry has to figure out, like, is my perception of myself actually who I am? Or am I more than what I've sort of resigned myself to being? And
Finding what's
yeah, and I think Aubrie put it very well. This show has a bit of everything. There's a lot of classical musical theater numbers that are really beautiful. There are some really wonderful choral moments. I was a choir kid in high school, and I gotta say this cast is very, from a technical standpoint, so musically talented, and there's some really beautiful numbers that they will have the pleasure of hearing if they come to see it.
Beautiful. So you can see it at the Croswell in Adrian, downtown Adrian. You have, what, 2 weekends
Yes.
of
Yes.
shows? Yeah,
Yes.
so plenty of opportunities to get up there. It's a beautiful venue as well to check that out. Well, folks, thanks for being here today.
Of course,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
for having
much.
us.
Break a leg. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Cannot wait. All right. Up next on Toledo's most local 9 a.m. show, Good Day.
Yeah, we get a makeup lesson.
Ooh.
And you and your daughters, your granddaughters, nieces, and more can get one too. Next weekend, we'll explain when Good Day returns.